Hi again, wrestling fans, and welcome to another compelling and hopefully exciting edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Good to have you along with us. If you're watching on YouTube, first thing I need you to do, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell. That way, anytime we upload some exciting action before the bell rings for the match or the show, your bell will ring and you'll know to tune in because we got something good for you. And Toy, talking about good stuff coming up. As you can see, we got our normal panel here with us. Commissioner Rick Diesel, Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan Danzig, Hall of Famer Stephen Hayes, his manager, trainer, and advisor, Jade, and joining us this week, it must be getting anniversary show time because Matt Classic is here with us. And we're good to see you again, Matt. It's been a while. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Always love talking to all my friends here in the AIWF.
Well, we are getting down to it. That's for sure. The anniversary show is coming up, and we're going to talk all about that. I saw some match announcements come out, but I'm going to let you work through those and talk to us about what we got going on for the anniversary show this year. But first thing I want to do is run through our greetings and welcomes and new social media stuff we got going on this week. At least for me, I took a big leap into the deep end of the pool and joined TikTok this week. So so the Chinese have all my information now, and you commie bastards will never get me to switch over. So no, I'm just kidding. I don't know if all that's true or not anyway, but I know you can play copyrighted music on TikTok, and that's one thing I do like about it so far. So soon as
copyright laws ain't as bad in China.
No, if you do something they don't like, they just kill you.
That's right.
Let's see. All right. So we should be able, I should be screen sharing now. Can you guys see the slideshow?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I was going to say it's the Daytona 500 edition, but sadly it's rained all weekend in Daytona, and so that race is not going to happen until tomorrow. And condolences to my fellow 49er fans, Mickey Fulp and Justin Flash. We tried hard, but it didn't work out. But you know, the most important thing about that game was Taylor Swift left happy. So, you know, I guess I can take solace in that. But we'll see you again sometime soon, Chiefs.
Also the anniversary of Dale Earnhardt's death at the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I was going to skip that one, but you're right.
I also looked up how old he was and was shocked.
Yeah, he was 50.
No, 49. So
oh,
yeah.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, I always thought he was old. Everybody back then just looked like old people.
Yeah.
Oh man, so that means that on this day, that this week, 49ers died twice.
Hmm.
Chink, chink. Yeah.
Bang, yeah.
Anyway,
right,
how did the Buck? Hey, Rick Diesel, how did the Bucks season go this year? By the way,
I don't hunt.
And for more, Justin Flash says he's trying to get
Nice.
in but can't get in.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find it.
I tried to join the panel, but it's not letting me connect. I'm driving down the road. Well, Doug, good Lord, don't say that.
My God, he's gonna die.
Don't say you're driving down the road and trying to get in.
I don't know.
You're like Matt Classic. Just pretend you're sitting in a car.
I'm in my car.
Yeah, he is.
It ain't moving.
Yeah,
Better than Smoky Mountain in front of a fireplace.
Yeah.
Let
Let me tell you something.
I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
I don't see any notification that Justin, you're gonna have to try again, buddy. I didn't get a notification. So anyway, and it's kind of hard to see while I'm doing the slideshow. So it may be that.
I'm trying, yeah.
Matt, have you put out banners in Mount Airy?
No, I have not.
Somebody sent me a message the other day, said, hey, the banner I seen for the anniversary show looks great. I'm like, what?
Well,
Okay.
Hey, as long as they're coming, that's all that matters.
Banner putter outer.
hey, whoever put it out, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's our Instagram.
They may have been talking about something else. I don't know, but okay.
We'll see.
There was the American Institute of Wine
And food.
and food.
We outlasted them too, baby.
You can find me on X at Mad Matt Concord. You can find Rick Diesel there at Rick Diesel, although you're not very active on X or Twitter, are you?
I need to be more, but I'll get more when the shows start back up, because that's when I do my stuff there. You know what I'm saying? When we
Yep.
running around here, that's when I do most of my stuff. But now I started posting more stuff from the network, because we're starting to gather. We have the UPWs on the network now, and I got contacted by another one about a week or so ago, so they're interested in coming on the network.
That's awesome. I'm
So
glad
I'm
to hear
hoping, you know, as I get more and more, I'm gonna keep posting links on my X or Twitter or whatever.
That's a triple X, but your X.
Yeah. They won't
Ain't no-
let me post it on triple X no
Ain't
more.
no more triple X in North Carolina, that's for sure.
Not anymore, buddy.
I told you, you just don't do the one where you have to pay, or the fan, or the one that most people know about. You got to go deep.
Yeah.
Not too deep though. But
Well, let's get past the 10-minute mark on YouTube before we give any addresses out. Okay.
I didn't say anything other than generic info. Oh, fancy.
Yeah, we have we are on TikTok. AIWF Mid Atlantic TikTok operator. I'd appreciate a follow back. I mean, considering I work here, it'd be great. But yeah, so AIWF Mid Atlantic on TikTok, Matt.Carter17. Actually, that has changed to Matt.Carter.AIWF. TikTok let me change the handle, so that slide is already out of date, and I just updated it yesterday. So high technology and time flies. All right, here we go. It's our season 32 2024 scheduled dates, and as you can see, the anniversary weekend kicks everything off. March 2nd and 3rd, Matt Classic. Oh boy, I mean, when I looked at that card today, I don't know a lot of those people, because you got people coming in from all over the country. It looks like
all over the country. Yeah.
it's absolutely incredible. So look, I'm going to throw it to you, man. I know this is why you're here. So talk to us about what the fans can expect for both nights. I mean, starting with Saturday, March 2nd.
I'm going to start on the top for Saturday night. Our main event scheduled is Ty Tyson getting his rematch for the AIWF World Title against Golden Boy Greg Anthony in a bull rope match.
Oh, Lord. Now, is this going to be a bull rope match like old school where they have to touch all four corners, or we're going to do pinfall or submission?
Touch all four corners. Touch all four corners.
All right, old school, baby. And I bet you there'll be a cowbell in the middle of that thing too.
There's a cowbell, and I mean, you got to think Ty's going to have the home field advantage this time. He went up to Dyersburg and lost, but this time he's going to have the home field advantage against Greg Anthony.
Wow, could Ty Tyson be a two-time world champion come March 2nd? That's entirely possible, I'd say. What else is on the card?
All right, we got a team called the Hype. They're out of Maryland. They wrestle for our partners in Virginia as well. They're a good young tag team. They're taking on Custom Made. Custom Made just defended 6 times last weekend, Matt Carter. Six times in one weekend.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That gives them a couple of weeks to recover, but boy, that's a lot of title defenses in one weekend, man. That is a rough schedule.
Yeah. Then after that, we have former Ring of Honor World Champion, former international star Michael Elgin coming to Mount Airy for the very first time. And we don't even know who he's facing, because we're picking somebody from the seminar that day. We're letting Elgin pick his own opponent that day.
Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. Now, I don't know him personally, but is he the type of guy that's going to pick somebody he can squash in 2 minutes, or is he going to try to pick an opponent that's going to give him a run for his money?
He's been liking to face a lot of young guys. He's been facing a lot of young guys lately. They've been having 20-minute matches at least. But he's got surgery coming up in April, so this is one of his last matches before that surgery. So we'll see what he's got in the tank.
It'd be interesting to see if he's ripe for the pick. And wouldn't that be something if somebody shows up for the seminar, he picks him, and then they end up beating him in that match? That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's very possible.
What else we got going on that night?
We got the mega title. Our partners up in West Virginia. Eric the Lariat Steele defending against Vance Desmond.
All right, I see Stephen Hayes nodding his head. He likes the sound of that. What's special about those guys?
I mean, Eric Steele, he's been very successful up in Mega. I think he's had the belt over a year up there. He actually defeated the national champion Lou Gotti not too long ago up there in a non-title match. It was for the Mega title, not the national title. But you know, hey, he's a good guy. And Vance Desmond's also a talented guy from the Pittsburgh, West Virginia area. And this is, I think, their third meeting, is what Mr. Cooper told me up there.
All right. Awesome. All right. Keep going, man.
Oh, we got the PWL title. Jeff James gets his shot against Cyclops. I've only seen Cyclops on film, so I don't know that much about him. But we all know who Jeff James is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and PWL, man, what a great promotion. I got to visit up there a couple of months ago, right before Christmas. Got to see snow in December, which has happened to me not maybe once or twice in the last 10 years. So that was really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
All right, next we got the IAW All Risk No Quit belt. They're out of Northern Virginia area near DC. Miss Jai Cole versus Chris Caden versus Risk, and it's going to be a triple threat action.
Man, this card seems like it's loaded with champions, man. It's just that's crazy.
We got a lot we're dealing with. And then let's go next. Speaking of Justin Flash is teaming with the Mega Tag Team Champions, the Shooter Society, Corey Sparks and Chase Bennett. And they're going to take on the eclectic team of Brian Valken coming out of retirement. It was a mainstay down in Gulf States and Louisiana. He's teaming with James Harris, who the Mount Airy fans know, and the young Luke Justice out of Arkansas.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a banger right there. Wow.
Yeah.
What else?
We got two more to say. We got the AIWF Heritage Battle Royal coming up. I mean, you know how the anniversary battle royal is. If you've ever been there, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, and you don't know how many people are going to get in that ring. I hope Rick Diesel, I know that there's been some work going on out in the park. I hope, just for the sake of that battle royal, the ring's been double reinforced, because there's going to be a lot of meat in there.
Well, we got one more day to get ready, so we got a lot of work to do this weekend too. Get everything ready for the anniversary show.
And the winner of that Heritage Battle Royal, they're going to get a shot at the IAW Eastern States Championship against Isaiah Frazier. And so, hey, they're gonna have to work twice that night.
Wow. Okay.
Hot dogs, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. They'll get actually maybe get a whole hot dog or a hot dog and a half before they leave.
Yeah. and last but certainly not least, Kevin Phoenix is going to get his shot at the AIWF World Television title. We thought it was going to be Flynn Hendricks, but Flynn Hendricks lost the belt last night in Monticello, Connecticut to Charles Colton.
Wow. Okay, so who's his opponent going to be now? Kevin Phoenix?
This guy is Charles Colton. He's from the UCW up there in Kentucky. He just beat Flynn Hendricks last night. So, you know, it's going to be a mystery for both men in that one. But again, Kevin's the hometown favorite. Kevin's been a world champion. He's been the world cruiserweight champion. I mean, so we'll see what happens.
He's going for his third different world title if he can pull this off.
Yeah, and so hey, those kids from Mount Airy High School, Kevin Phoenix is going to need you on Saturday night. Y'all need to be there and be loud and bring all your friends. I mean, y'all need to be a big contingent. He's going to need your support. But action doesn't just end on Saturday. I mean, this thing has grown into 2 days.
We have a whole another day. 4 p.m. on Sunday, we start right back up.
Yep. So run down that card for us, because I saw a couple of matches on there. I'm gonna start
from the top. We got the AIWF Mid Atlantic Hardcore title on the line in a triple threat street fight with James Harris, Ryan Manis, and Lazarus Black.
Well, and I understand all 3 men's tetanus shots are up to date, so we should be good to go on that one. It's going to be wild.
I hope so. And I encourage the fans to bring their weapons for this one, because it's going to be unsanctioned. We're taking the canvas off the ring, and we're going to let these guys basically kill each other.
Wait, there's not going to be a canvas on the ring?
No, we're going to take everything off, because it's going to be pretty bloody, knowing those 3.
So are they just going to wrestle right on the boards?
Yeah.
Yeah. I say make them do it, by God.
And we're taking the ropes down and everything. Yeah, we're taking it all down.
Holy crap.
Let's just move a ring outside and make them work on the concrete.
Next we got from AIWF Mid Atlantic, we got Ty Tyson, Justin Flash, and Kevin Phoenix teaming up against the team of Mecha Mercenary, Corey Etzel, and Mickey Fulp. So that's going to be an interesting one right there.
Absolutely. Wow. Loaded. Keep going, man.
Lord. Keep going. We got the AIWF World Women's title. Miss Clara Carter is going to put her title on the line against not one, but 2 women, Miss Alicia Love and Miss Lindsay from APW down in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Alicia Love Lindsay had a match a couple weeks ago. We couldn't get a winner. Adam, the promoter down there, he said, "Hey, can we put them both in against Claire?" I said, "Hey, let's do it." So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I know Clara will welcome that challenge. So, yeah, but
Yeah,
there's no champions. You don't really have a champion's advantage in those three-way matches. That's for sure.
no, not at all. And then we have the AIWF World Tag titles on the line again on Sunday. Whoever wins between the custom made and height are going to take on NC-17, which is a team from up there in Supreme Wrestling, and they also run the XCF up there in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And yeah, custom made just put one of them through a wall last night. So,
Oh God, looks like they're going to
so
be.
I think they want custom made, but they don't get the first shot. The hype gets the first shot. So,
Right, man. This sounds like
but,
some people are going to be bringing the violence, man. That's for sure.
I mean, that's what AIW is known for. We're going to have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Mhm.
Next is the APW Carolina Championship. AJ Frost and Jamie Purge. Like I said, APW runs every Friday night now. I mean, they're doing great things in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. And I mean, I'm gonna have to visit myself down there. I haven't been down there in years.
Yeah, and hadn't Jack and Clara been going down there a whole lot? It seems like I've seen them
Yeah,
advertising those shows.
they've been down there a couple times. Kevin Phoenix has been down there lately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good stuff. Next, we got representing the North American Wrestling Alliance, all the way from the great state of Maine. We got Blade Bandit and Cousin Larry versus Lee Miller and Jordan Cross.
Oh wow, okay, all the way from the state of Maine. Boy, that's a long haul down
That's
here.
a ride, boy. I've done that before.
Yeah, they're flying in, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, they run up there. They run up there, and they run a lot of fair shows up there. They run about 30 shows a year up there, at
Good
least.
for them.
Hell yeah, good
Yeah.
job.
Next, we got Zakar Shah and Brian Caden. Zakar Shah's from the Maryland area. Brian Caden's from the New York area. So we're gonna see if Maryland or New York's better in this one. That's the whole purpose of that one, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we got from APW. They're sending down Mayhem McQueen and Jamie Moon versus Rush Miller and Uriel. I don't know too much about these guys, but they're some young guys that they want to show their stuff. They're all students of the APW Academy.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then we got more stuff, folks. Bear with me. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got the Test Your Luck Multi-Man Madness. Didn't want to do a battle royal both, so hey, we're gonna throw them in at 30-second intervals. First pin wins it.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know how many guys will be there. It might be 2 guys. It might be 200. I don't know.
Wow. I love that.
Next we got the Flower Championship Wrestling Academy Championship. Xander Lee Mickey is taking on Alan Compass of Australia. So yeah, all the way from Australia.
Very cool. Very cool. That's a long way. Mm. Yeah.
And next we got some AIWF legends. And this is straight from the mouth of Jimmy Love. So Jimmy Love and Jeff Flowers, who are currently the Pure Pro Tag Team Champions, are going to take on the Mid Atlantic Outlaws, Lewis Moore and Matt Houston. So that's going to be a good one, and bring it back to the old times of the AIWF.
Katie bar the door.
And next, we got the AIWF World Shoot Fighting title. Jack is going to take on Brawler Morrison. He's an MMA fighter from Oklahoma. He's a 2-0 MMA fighter. So he says he's going to knock Jack the hell out. That's what Brawler Morrison told me.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, easier said than done. Good luck. That's going to be a very interesting match. That's for sure. Wow.
Yeah. And last but not least for that Sunday, and the first match of the night, going to be Hunter Rayner, who's out of the Ring Wars Wrestling Academy, taking on Buddy Flowers, the man that likes to take you to the moon, baby, for the Mid-Atlantic Cruiserweight title.
Oh boy. I tell you what, you know, the thing about this year, and it's always been pretty consistent since it went to 2 days, but this year seems to me, Matt, that the card is equally loaded on both Saturday and Sunday. I mean, it's just like if you go to one night, you need to go to both, because I mean, the action is going to be absolutely tremendous all the way around.
Yeah, and tickets start only $5. Bleachers are $5. Floor seating $10. I mean, that's a deal. There's a show going on actually that Friday and Saturday before here in Greensboro. $20. $20.
Yeah.
Come on down, bring the whole damn family, get you some concessions. You know, come on down. That's all I got to tell all the great fans in the old state.
Yeah, man. Tease Treats will be there. They'll make sure you don't get hungry. That's for sure. I mean, it's going to be huge. March 2nd and 3rd. Tickets in the bleachers start at $5. What are the ringside? Do we have a listing for those yet?
$10 for the floor. The whole floor is $10.
Whole floor is $10. All right. I mean,
First come, first serve.
Yep. So no reserve seating, first come, first serve, $10 for the floor, $5 for the bleachers. That's for both, not for both days. I don't want to give the impression you got to buy a ticket for each day, right?
For each day, yeah.
Yeah. So March 2nd, Saturday, March 2nd, Sunday, March 3rd, special bell time on Sunday at 4 p.m. I guess we'll do the regular bell time of 7:30 on Saturday. And
4 o'clock Sunday.
And 4 on Sunday. So make sure you're there, folks. For our regular Mid Atlantic fans, this is a chance. We say this every year. This is a chance for you to see wrestlers you normally do not see in Mount Airy. So, and yes, if you're a wrestling nerd like me, you always want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the indies, because that guy you see wrestling at the anniversary show might be the next Jay Malachi, and the next thing you know, he's on NXT. So, that's something to keep in mind.
Which Jay Malachi was in last year's Crazy 8. So if that says anything.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention one more thing here. You didn't mention it. Leo Fox just won the AIWF America's title last night in Oklahoma City. He defeated the 7-foot monster Talos.
Wow. Okay. So who's champions?
Hey, Matt Classic, while I got you on here, and I'm sure Matt Carter will echo this to the highest mountain. If they have title changes or title matches like that, if they'll get their information to Matt, he will talk about it on this show. Am I wrong, Matt?
Absolutely. I would love to do that. I want this show to cover more than the Mid Atlantic. I want it to cover the entire AIWF. So if we have title changes and stuff like that, just send me a notification, just shoot me a message on Facebook, and we will talk about it on this program. And if there's any video footage, it's real easy to get that to Rick Diesel, and we'll get it up on the network. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, man. Hey, wrestlers out there, our YouTube channels, we want to set up for you to have a resume there. So if you do get a call from one of the super, like an AEW or Shawn Michaels at NXT, you can send them, hey, here's my matches, and you can send them 3 or 4 links to YouTube, and there it is, right? So that's what we want. So send us all the information you can. We're glad to talk about
this show and the AIWF Network. It's for the AIWF, not just the Mid Atlantic. A lot of people confuse that.
Oh yeah, we're working on it. It's getting better.
We're gonna have a big conversation at the anniversary show with some guys about that, Matt.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of, and another breaking news. I don't know if you saw it. Indiana Heritage Wrestling just joined us. They've been running shows out to the Supreme Building in Madison, but they're gonna still run there, but they're gonna start moving out doing spot shows. So yeah, so there's 132 promotions now in the AIWF in 44 countries.
Incredible, just incredible. So make your plans to join us the first weekend of March, ladies and gentlemen. 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, March 2nd, 4 p.m. on Sunday, March 3rd. You just heard Matt Classic run down the cards, and we'll have some billboards and posters to put up on our social media.
Oh yeah, we got graphics coming for every match, and yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, and isn't this show called True Grit?
Yeah, I call it True Grit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
And Sunday is called Part Deux. I must be a Top Gun fan, huh?
I guess. Well, I tell you what, Matt Classic, I'm certainly looking forward to it. It's going to be a great 2 days of wrestling. So make your plans, fans. If you're coming from out of town, I hear the Hampton Inn out on 601 is real nice. Yeah, there's plenty of places to stay local. Mount Airy is a great place to come. If you're, it's Andy Griffith's hometown, so there's plenty of that stuff, but there's more to do than just the wrestling. I would encourage you to make a weekend of it. Come up early, do the touristy things in town. You can take a ride in a squad car, but you better reserve it now. I'm just telling you, because Saturdays fill up quick. You can middle around town, come to the wrestling in the evening. I mean, there's a lot to do in Mount Airy. So, I would strongly encourage you, if you've never been, this is your first time, come up and check it out. There's a lot of cool things there.
Yes, sir. I don't know which has been the most entertaining on this show, there's three things I'm kind of picking from. One is Kevin Phoenix working out again. Two is Brian and Reagan possibly eating Dippin' Dots while we was talking. And or three, every time Matt Classic mentions another match, I see Reagan's face just droop a little bit more because she runs production for this thing for the filming.
I'm just thinking that I'm gonna be real tired.
We're excited about all the matches.
No, we're very
not gonna
excited
be as
about
bad
that.
as the 7-hour show in Tennessee. I promise.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the logistics of being stuck in that little black corner, and that I'm gonna have to have somebody run me my chicken tenders and my ice cream and my fries.
We might get you your own runner that day, that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I got plenty of young boys. Trust me.
There you go. We're
There we
gonna
go.
assign you a young
That
boy.
kind of we have over the age of 18. Matt Classic doesn't know my shoot job, so we're gonna say young people over the age of 18.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't let them in the ring unless they're over 18. So
Well, yeah. We're eating Sam's ice cream from Clemens. They're not a sponsor, but they are very good ice cream in Clemens.
But they could be,
Oh yeah.
or maybe they should be.
Maybe they should be.
Mhm.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. All
But
right.
we weren't on camera eating, so that's why we were eating. I was watching the little corner. And also, like, every time Matt Classic announces a match, it gets darker and darker. And it's
Yeah, we about lost him completely now. We just see his teeth.
Yeah. Tell your dentist good job, because your teeth are showing up real good.
perfect. But
That's what-
y'all my head out, eat my dinner. I gotta get out of here today. Holler at me on the Facebook. Everybody knows where I am. So hey, I'll see you on March 2nd.
All
Doing a
right,
great
Matt.
job, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there we have it. That's what's going on for the anniversary show. Be sure you check us out on YouTube, AIWF Network, and AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Hey, I know it, and I'd like to say just to the Ringside Wrestling subscribers, I know it's been slow the last few months. We've been trying to keep videos up there to keep you entertained, but the fan cam will be returning on March 2nd, and we'll have all kinds of fresh stuff for you. And so get ready for that. And you can email us at AIWF20@hotmail.com.
I'm laughing at Justin Flash's comment about what my emotions are going to be that weekend with Smiley with emojis. So,
Oh, okay. Oh, there I see Kevin Phoenix working out again. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So
see.
let's talk about Premier Auto Detailing real quick. Hands down, the best car cleaning service in town. They service the Mount Airy, Surry County area. And they do complete detailing. They do personal jobs. If you just got, if you're like me, you don't like to wash the car, it's just not your thing, you can call them up. They'll help you do it. If you have professional services, like you want to use car lot, or you got a fleet of vehicles at your business that need cleaning up and you just don't have the time or the manpower that you can dedicate to it, Premier Auto Detailing can take care of all that for you. You just give them a call at 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722, Premier Auto Detailing, and they will be happy to help you out. They'll make that old jalopy look showroom new, and they'll do it all for you at a very
Is
reasonable
that the new
price.
number?
No, we're still in that transition period.
Jeez.
Just everything's doing good. It's kind of cold right now, so don't you worry.
Yeah.
We've been getting things up ready.
Yep.
Ready.
Yep. I'm
It's
just
coming.
wait. I'll change the billboard as soon as I get the corresponding text ordering me to do so. So, but anyway, that number again, at least for the time being, 336-883-5722, Premier Auto Detailing.
Well, that number will still work. It is still a good number, and you can use it for this. We just hadn't got the new number yet, so we're still good to go on that number.
T's Creations Custom Apparel, now official merchandising partner for the AIWF Mid Atlantic. They are going to be making custom wrestler shirts and for your favorite stars, be it Ty Tyson or whoever else. They're working on the details with that, and so be expecting that to come. You can visit
Also saw a sneak peek of a shirt that might be being made that I really liked.
Oh, really? Where'd you see that at?
Can't tell my sources. I'm a journalist.
Why not? Where this is a commercial for the damn business.
Well, I do want to say I wore my Tees Creation shirt for Valentine's Day at my shoot job and got several comments about how great it was. So
Okay.
it was a llama that said, "Have an amazing Valentine." So it was cute. I loved it.
You can visit them at teescreations22.com. Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook and on TikTok, Tees Creations, and I gave them a follow. Again, I'd appreciate one back. But the TikTok Tees Creations channel is very in your face and kind of loud, and I like that. It's definitely an attention getter. If you scroll and hit that one, it's gonna make you make your eyes get big like that. It's a very, very big and loud and very likable. So check them out, teescreations22.com. You can send them messages there. They've got all these kind of stuff on the website, generic stuff. But if you need custom job, like for a family reunion, Little League Baseball, they can help you with all that kind of stuff. And of course, they're going to be making merch for the AIWF Mid Atlantic guys coming up very soon. So check them out, Tees Creations, and they usually have a trailer at all of the Mid Atlantic shows. If you want to advertise with us here on Ringside Wrestling, we are putting the headlock on high advertising prices. I challenge you to find a cheaper rate to advertise on this on any wrestling talk show monthly for what you just heard, 30-second to 1 minute. Sometimes it goes longer. It's $10. We can do weekly for $6, but $10 for a 30-second to 1 minute read. If you want us to produce you a video commercial, we can do that too. That's a little bit more expensive. That's $30 a month, but still a great value. And all you have to do is reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, or you can reach out to me personally on social media or Rick Diesel, and we will get the ball rolling on helping you advertise with this program. I challenge you to find cheaper wrestling advertising anywhere. All right, guys. So let's talk about the elephant in the room this week.
Is that blinds?
No, it's the roof.
No,
it's the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Venetian blinds.
No. So Jay Malachi has hit the big time. It seems he was involved in a pull apart on NXT this past Tuesday, and I have not seen it yet, but he actually wrestled a match on NXT Level Up Friday night at 10 o'clock. But that show, it's like the show you're on before you go to the main NXT show, right? And so
like the Saturday night what's the one besides Saturday night? Main
Sunday
event?
Night Heat.
Yeah.
So it's WWE's developmental.
Yeah, it's the minor league of the minor league,
Gotcha.
and that's why they put people on TV first to see. So he had a match. Don't know if he won or not, but saw a lot of social media traffic about it. Saw him posting that he was doing house shows, going on the road with them. So all the experience he had setting up the rings in the indies is going to serve him well on that, because when people tour with NXT, that's part of what they do is set up the ring. So he's going to continue to pay dues. Nice guy, humble guy, really good, really fast. I think he's going to fit in like a round peg, Rick Diesel.
Well, I've heard from sources that the higher ups at NXT is they've took a liking to Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got his foot in the door pretty deep. He's just got to get to the point where they're ready to do something with him. But from what I've heard, he's on the good list down there.
Yeah, I mean they put his face on TV, so,
and he done it quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he hasn't been there just a few weeks. Usually it takes longer, for somebody to pull up off the indies like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sometimes even people from like Impact, and they take a couple of months before they start showing their face on TV.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know if maybe it's just like a cool down thing or what, but yeah, the fact that he showed up that quickly is a testament just to how good he is.
Yeah.
His name in NXT is Javon Evans. That's what they're going to call him.
Ooh, he's German.
Javon Evans. Javon Evans? I don't know. That doesn't sound like a German
Oh,
name.
okay. So the Von is like a
It's
hyphen on the
J-A-
first name. It's not the part of the last name. Like,
No, it's like
Yeah.
JA''VON.
oh, okay. I thought it was
Close.
J. Von Evans.
J-E
Oh,
apostrophe.
JE apostrophe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm, yep. So I'm waiting for WWE to post that episode of Level Up to Peacock. And as soon as it goes up, I'll take a look at that match. But what the clips I've seen of it were very good. So congratulations, Javon. I'm gonna have to start calling you that now. We're gonna lose your old independent name and start going with your WWE name. But if you're out
Can't
there,
call him Malachi no more.
thank God, because I told him the last time I saw him that I was super pissed, and I had ranted about that several times on the show, the way they mistreated, just dogged him out and mistreated him and mispronounced his name on AEW Dark or whatever. But he was like, don't worry, man. He said they treat all the job guys like shit, so at least it was universal all the way around. And so now he's somewhere where, people will look after him and not shit on his head.
Last time I seen him, I just called him Malachi all night, and he just put his head down.
I don't know. But if I could offer him one piece of advice, everybody's going to be taking credit for your success now.
Yes.
You know who trained you. We know who trained you. That'd be LeBron Cozone. You don't owe anybody anything. All right. So don't let people guilt trip you into feeling like you need to give them money or anything as you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: you're young. You probably won't take my advice, but save every penny you can, because all it takes is a blown out knee or some kind of bad bump and to the wrong part of your spinal column and neck, and you're done. So try not to, try as best you can not to live a lavish lifestyle. Save all your money and don't ever, 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 ever let anybody guilt you into making like you need to give them any money or give them anything, because you got there because you busted your ass. You watched your diet. You've got washboard abs. I mean, you're fast in the ring. Your moves have impact. You've got what they're looking for, that quick snap to your moves. Like, you're an elite level wrestler, and now you're getting your chance to go to where the big boys are, the major leagues. So, yeah, LeBron Cozone trained him, but Javon, you got there because of your hard work and nobody else's. So I will leave it at that. Would anybody else like to comment on that? That's just something I feel, and he's a young man, and so I want to try to give him some advice. I don't know that he'll listen, but being a fuck up most of my life, I've learned the hard way all those lessons that I just told you.
Well, you're right though. Like, you're gonna have people. It's like when you win the lottery, you're gonna have people coming out of the woodwork, being like, "Hey man, you remember that time?" Or "Hey man, we did this for you," or "Hey man, you know." So
Yeah, because it's not going to be just money either. It's going to be, hey, get me a tryout. Hey, get my foot in the door.
or hell, it'll be, "Hey, get me tickets to WrestleMania."
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Right. But yeah, just yeah, like you said, you don't owe anybody anything.
And he was such a humble guy. So,
Mhm.
just, I think, stay humble, do what they tell you to do the work. If they want to, train you a little bit more, don't then, don't be like, "I've already done it all. I don't need it." Just go with what they're saying and they'll take you far.
They want you to be what they want you to be. Anything they'll teach you there is stuff that'll help you there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they want. They want to take what you have and turn you into what they want you to be. Listen to them.
Yes.
Go with it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Look at Shawn Michaels, all the experience he has. He was on top for a lot of years. Got hurt, took a break for 4 years, came back and got on top again for several years. So, the people that are running WWE now, you're in good hands. You really are. And I think if they've taken a liking to you, my friend, just keep digging. Just keep digging. And every time you win, know that this fucking mark right here is going to be sitting here popping in my living room for you. All right. So I'm pulling for you, man. That's what I want to see. Everybody that comes through the Mid Atlantic go to WWE. And I know it's not possible. But I'm still happy for everybody that gets there. You know, I mean, Adam Page drank fucking blood in AEW, but you know what? I'm still happy for him. He's earning a good living there. You know, I mean, you know, I don't think he's the new Magnum TA. He can try to do that thing. Maybe it'll take off for him. But you know, hey, I'm happy for Adam, and I'm happy for anybody that makes it to the big time. So, but I think
anybody who can live their dream and make a living as something that they love, that's always a good thing. And especially when it's someone that you saw personally, you saw the struggle that they went through and all the hard work they put in, and to see it finally pay off. You know, and there are guys who are as good as Jay Malachi who won't make it.
That's right.
But it's not just about ability, it's also about determination and you know, putting the work in. It's it takes and luck too. I mean, there's the luck has something to do with it too. You know, the right set of eyes get you on the right time. And so, but yeah, it's always great to see everything come together and work out, and see such a young, talented performer like that getting in the spotlight at the big time.
You know,
Oh, go ahead, Reagan.
I was gonna say, and just kind of going back what you were saying with Matt Classic, that's why it's important to support the indies, to come to the indie shows, you know, pay the $5 or $10, and because you're gonna see somebody who one day you're gonna turn on your TV and there they are, you know. So, and then you got to see them, you know, 5 feet away, or you got to meet them after the show, and you know, and that's why independent wrestling is so important. I know some people like sometimes want to shit on it a little bit, but I mean, that's where you put your time in. That's where you pay your dues, is doing those indie shows and putting those rings up and stuff. And you know, that's why you should support your local indie wrestling. Because you know, you're seeing, I mean, you know, people say future stars all the time, but you're seeing future stars and stuff.
Yeah, that's where they get their start.
Yep. A couple of quick points I'd like to bring up about NXT. Number one, it's very interesting that Javon, I'm transitioning, right? Give me time. He came out of the indie scene when it is very well known at this time that a lot of the recruiting that NXT is doing is of college athletes from other sports, right? They're just looking for good athletes. So the fact that they did find somebody in the indies that's to their liking and their level of skill, it says a lot for Jay, you know, and his ability. I came up with an expression, and it's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but you know, fuck you. Yeah. But I came up with an expression in the mid 2000s called WWE speed. When I see it, like if you go to live events, or if you watch even old wrestling from in the 80s, especially like the Crockett's, some of the Southern territories, and you know, when you see that speed off the ropes, the snap to the moves, right? And I just coined that WWE speed. And I'm probably going to hurt a lot of feelings when I say this, but over the last 15 years, I've only seen 3 people work on AIWF shows that have had what I call WWE speed. One of them was the guy, he's in WWE's friends with AJ Styles now. He used to be Jesse and Festus. What's Festus's name now?
Oh, Doc Gallows.
Yeah. Him, but he worked on what I think a Lewis Moore show after he left WWE the first time. The second one was what was the guy that we had here for so many years that was the tennis player? His gimmick was a tennis player, and he came out with Lady Marion. You remember him?
Not MVP. That guy.
He dressed like MVP.
But,
yeah.
He had a name that was.
You talking about Playa?
Yeah.
Natural Born Playa.
His his son came and wrestled.
ASAP.
Yeah, came and wrestled at AIWF Mid Atlantic one time. And I was like, ooh, he's got WWE speed. And that's number 2. And the third one was Jay Malachi. And I remember the first time I watched him wrestle, I don't know if I told you, Rick Diesel, that this kid's got WWE speed, but I remember like going back to the car, and after Jinky gave me the parking lot report, I was like, there's a kid in there. And I pointed him out. I was like, see that motherfucker walking right there? That motherfucker has WWE speed. And she's like, really? And I was like, yes, you got to come in and watch him wrestle sometime. But she, finds the parking lot more interesting. So she didn't get to see him. So when she was on NXT this week, she was like, which one's Jay? Like that. And I was like, the one on the left, the black guy, like that. And she's like, I don't remember him. And I was like, I know, because you don't come inside. It's like, that's where the wrestling is.
Yeah,
Well, our parking
lots.
Yeah.
30 years, 25, 30 years has always been very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's as interesting now as it used to be.
No, it's not. It's starting to, the last few months, last few shows of 2023, it's toned down a lot. There was not as much interesting going on, but anyway,
People are getting more self-respect as time goes on.
I guess, or just leaving certain ones at home. But nonetheless, so I was going to move to our next thing I had in line was these record-breaking crowds that WWE has been having here lately. Let's see here if you guys can see this. I'm back to the slideshow. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
This is from Salt Lake City, Utah. They were completely sold out, just as Charlotte was this past Friday night, as we head toward Elimination Chamber. Dominic Mysterio took on Kevin Owens in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. It was okay. Dominic needs to give up on the 619. He's too big. He can't hit it like his dad. R-Truth came out to the ring. Dominic tried to tell him that if he gave him that chair that he would be back in the Judgment Day. R-Truth didn't buy it. Pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. Kevin Phoenix wins it. And that's Charles Robinson, the ageless man.
Not Kevin Phoenix, Kevin Owens.
Did I say Kevin Phoenix?
You did say Kevin Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
I can't tell them apart sometime either.
Well, Kevin looked like he hadn't been tanning as much.
So
I put this in here. Selena Vega had no business getting in the ring with Tiffy time. Tiffany's too big, too strong, too fast, but they had a decent match. But Selena was distracted by the Latino World Order, El Dato Fantasma, whatever that other group's name is. And anyway, but like I had thought for the last few times I saw Tiffany Stratton do this moonsault that she was missing and not hitting it square, but she actually calls it the most beautiful moonsault ever. And her intention is to drive her knees into the midsection of her opponent. And so she is hitting it square. It just looked funny to me, but I mean, very effective. And then here's a shot of a group that I'm not very impressed with their in-ring skills, but Paul Ellering, because I'm old, is very cool to me. And it's good to see him back on. I mean, look, he's 80 years old and he still looks like he is ready to fight.
80 years old? Seriously? Or you mean facetious?
I think he's pushing 80. Last time I checked. Let me get on my Google machine.
You keep talking, I'll get on the Google machine.
All right. So he's with AOP. They're back, and Karrion Kross, and they're trying to save Karrion Kross and his lady. I can't remember her name.
Bordeaux.
70. He's 70.
He's 70. He still looks great.
Still looks damn good.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for those
Well,
of you,
I'm telling you, remember I said I watched his debut, and I've been watching him some in Memphis in like 80s, 80, 81. And his arms made Hulk Hogan look like spaghetti noodles.
yes,
God, Paul,
He was
Paul was
massive
jacked.
back then.
Even when he was
was.
the manager, or even when he was
Wrestling. That was when he was wrestling.
manager, he was huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
He's in
important.
good shape. Yeah.
It's important to remember for our younger viewers who might not recognize Paul Ellering. He was a wrestler in the late 70s and early 80s, but he had a neck injury or spinal injury that ended his career. But then he got hooked up with Hawk and Animal, the LOD, and took them to new heights. They dominated the AWA, dominated the NWA, Crockett Promotions, dominated WCW, went to the WWF, won titles there. I mean, he's done it all. So they have brought him in with AOP to try to save this group right here. But Rick Diesel, AOP wrestled a couple of guys from NXT on SmackDown, and I have to say, even though I'm in these guys' corner and I'm pulling for them, ain't looking good, man. It really
I think they got them in there because of their look. I think this is one of those times where WWE is focused more on the gimmick than they are the talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you said Karrion Kross is in this faction?
Yeah, there he is, right there.
You know, like I watched Karrion Kross when he wasn't in the WWE, and he was really, like, his character was good, like he was, but it just seems like they're underutilized, or either that or they just don't know what to do with him.
I think that's what it is, because when he was in NXT and he was still bald.
Yeah, he was.
Who's the Raven Psycho? Oh man, he was scary. You know, and then he got let go when Vince did all those cuts coming out of the pandemic, you know, one of the waves of cuts. And as soon as Triple H got back in, they brought him back. But he just really hadn't done much so far. I'm hoping
he looked better bald. He was more menacing when he was bald.
Yeah. And I saw on Twitter, Karrion Kross, little known fact, he does a mean Jesse the Body Ventura impersonation. I mean, he sounds just like Jesse when he flips it on. It's hilarious. Also, Logan Paul took on The Miz. This was Logan Paul's first regular televised match, not a PLE. And The Miz played a big part in training Logan. And let me just say, they laid it in on this match. If you have not seen it, I would encourage you to go back and see it. Miz had a bloody lip. They really went at it. It was a hell of a match. Logan Paul ended up winning and going on to he'll be in the Elimination Chamber. All of you Steiner Brothers fans from back in the day, this should have made you happy. Nick Aldis signed Braun Breaker to a contract for SmackDown. Only problem is he and Baron Corbin won the NXT Tag Team title on Tuesday night from the Italian guys, so from the family. And so that's probably going to cause a little friction there. I don't know. We'll see. You know, we'll just wait over the week.
I'm glad to see him get put on, you know, the brands, because, or whatever you call, however you refer to them, because I was really impressed with his WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, I'm sorry, his Rumble debut. Like, he came in and he cleared house, and you could tell you could tell he was ready. Like, he was ready to be on the main stage. So I'm really hoping to see some really good things out of him, and hope he doesn't have, you know, there are some wrestlers who are like second and third generations on there, but it has been very hard for several second generation guys to go in and do their own thing and make it. And so I really hope he goes far.
Oh, I think he will. I thought he was ready a year ago, but I think that them holding him back one more year has only made him better. And if you have not seen it yet, go back and watch the last NXT TakeOver, where him and Baron Corbin won the Dusty Classic Tag Team Tournament, and they come out to the ring on motorcycles, and tell me if that is not one of the most badass ring entrances. And I've seen motorcycle entrances before, but just the way that one was executed and the way it looked was so cool. It was fantastic. So wrapping up SmackDown coverage, of course, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline come to the ring to address things going on, and Triple H's comments about running things. They introduced The Rock as the new member of the Bloodline. I don't have any more photos. That was all they had on WWE.com. But then The Rock proceeds to cut a 1997, 1998 Rock style promo and went hard. I think it
was one of the best promos I have seen in recent history.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, like, heel Rock is like everybody, you know, likes it when he's baby, but I love that heel Rock. I mean, what he says and how smooth and just how he plays, and he gets the crowd just in the palm of his hand, because you could tell in that promo that crowd wanted to boo him and they wanted to cheer him, and they wanted to cheer him, and they wanted to boo him. And he could turn them on a dime, you know, and it was just, I don't know why people aren't enjoying this ride. Like,
oh God,
I mean, I am too. And like, I am just, because we missed I did watch Raw this week, and we missed SmackDown though. But you know, you had sent the clip from it, and I watched it, and when Brian got, I was like, Brian, you got to watch this. And it was fantastic. And I'm hoping, I mean, I cannot see where this goes. I have some ideas of where it might go. Because there's some little things that he said and did that could be innuendo for something that was going to happen, but we'll just have to see.
I was going to bring that up. A lot of the internet sleuths on Saturday morning, because I was watching truck race from Daytona Friday night. I was just like, you know what? I'll watch SmackDown in the morning. I'll just make sure not to look at my phone. And I got up Saturday morning, watched it, and was like, oh, holy shit. It was to the point, the Rock's promo was so good when Jinky got up. I was like, you got to see this, you know, and I played her that. And she was like, wow. And she's not, you know, even that big of a wrestling fan, but she knows the Rock. And some of the internet people said that when he said, I'm going to make sure you don't win at WrestleMania.
And then
Rock
he did
he pointed at Roman Reigns, and when they raised the one finger,
he did this.
Yeah. And
you know, yeah. And it's just, I mean, who knows? I mean, because you got a bunch of internet smart marks, so you don't know. But you know, this is the other thing about The Rock is so many people talk, and this is something they showed, and you had to really be paying attention. When he comes out, you know, people say, oh, he's just there for the money. Oh, he's just there to promote his show, movies. But he comes out, and when he points to his arm, you can see the goosebumps on his arm. And if you're not somebody who loves wrestling, you're not going to come out there and get goosebumps for how that crowd reacts to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he definitely doesn't need the money.
Oh, well, I don't know. He's had a couple of bad business dealings here lately. His football.
No, that Disney money doesn't dry out.
That and yeah, and the thing is, he is putting his big money, his movies, he puts it at risk every time he gets in a ring. If he actually wrestles, I mean, it happened to him before. He wrestled, got injured, and it delayed one of his movies.
That's right. And that second match with Cena at WrestleMania was the one. Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's coming out, you know, he's got Moana 2 coming. He's got the live action Moana. That Disney money is going to keep him till he's dead.
Well, I was referring to the DC stuff though. I was talking about the DC, the Black Adam movie.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't him. It's everybody's shitty in that universe.
Well, that's true, but you know, he still made a fine. He was a producer on that deal, so that means he was one of the ones that went to the bank and got the loan. So, you know.
That, like I said, you can't that Disney money will ride you forever, because you got to think about, he probably gets merchandise and from that. I mean, you know, I did like, this is kind of going back to Raw. I did like Becky Lynch's promo of her own about how her child didn't know why daddy wanted to beat up Maui.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
it was really good. So I just thought that was, and you know, going back, you know, I've always said I don't watch the product, and I had started, and man, Raw, I mean, I was entertained from the moment it started to the end. I mean, there were some things that I was like, like some of the matches, I was like, okay, I know who's going over in this one. But yeah. But I watched on Hulu, and on Hulu it doesn't take 3 hours because the commercials are only like a minute each. So it cuts down your watching time a lot. So we watched it on that this in the middle of the week, and I wish we had had time to watch SmackDown, but I'm excited for this WrestleMania. I'm excited for the Elimination Chamber. I guess we'll have to watch it, because isn't it going to be like 3 o'clock in the morning live?
5 a.m. 5
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Next Saturday. Or Saturday. It's already.
It has to be the thing like the Olympics, when the Olympics was in Brazil. Like, you couldn't look at the newspaper because they ruined everything. So
yeah. Interesting thing, like a lot of pundits these days are talking about like how the TV shows are not as good and all that kind of stuff. And I would agree during the last couple of years before McMahon was like gone and then now gone, that was just like long and drawn out. But like you got to think about it. You got 3 hours to fill on Monday, 2 hours with NXT on Tuesday, 2 hours with SmackDown. And then when you have PLEs, as they call them now, then you got to fill that. But it kind of reminds me, I think you figured out what they're doing and why they Triple H has always said he was a slow burn kind of guy. I want you to think about this from a booking perspective. And I couldn't book my way out of a wet paper bag if I was giving it for a wrestling company. They would go out of business within months, right? I just don't have the brain for it, but I know what I like. All right, so think about it. Like back in the territory days, your TV show was basically an infomercial to get people to the live event, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now most of the revenue is generated. Well, the attendance is coming up now, so that it's generating a lot of revenue, but your TV contracts are still your biggest thing, right? So they say, well, you don't see much wrestling because they focus more on the promos. Well, that's what they did back in the territory days, right? The matches weren't even competitive. At least now you have competitive matches along with the great promos. And they say, well, they wrestle 2 minutes to the break. And so you only get to see, they'll have a 2 minutes, then a 4-minute spot, commercial break. And they'll come back and you'll get a couple of more minutes on the back end. And then they go to something else, go to another promo. But that's the way it worked in the old days. And here's the advantage. If you're sitting in that crowd in the live audience, I've been to Raw back in the day when they showed the full matches. And when they went to commercial, the Titantron went dark and you just sat there and waited for them to come back on. Now, when you're there, the match keeps going. They don't turn off the Titantron. You don't know when they go to break. When I was at SmackDown, with me and the guy next to me were guessing when they were at break, but we couldn't tell. And so if you're there in person, you get long matches, you get good interviews. It's great. And if you're watching on TV, they're giving you just enough to whet your appetite, keep you coming back next week. And then you're going to tune in on Peacock to that PLE, and that's where they want you.
And I'm going to say, people do talk about, missing stuff during the commercials, but I'm going to say AEW is the way they do it. They show the match during the commercials a lot of the times, but it's very hard to like pay attention to it. Like you can watch it, but it's like if you were looking at your computer screen and you saw this 6 panel, you would have a little bitty screen with the match going on. And in the beginning, it was like, hey, this is really cool. But now it's like, what's going on? Oh, wait, there's a commercial moving, and you're like this. And,
picture in picture. And if you don't have a giant TV, you can barely see it. You're right. You're right. I mean, you're right. If somebody had, and you think about it, a 46-inch TV 10, 15 years ago was considered giant. That's small these days, and so if you don't have a giant screen TV, you can't really see it. And NASCAR does it sometimes. WWE does it a little bit, but I have to say that the AEW screen is the smallest of those 3 that I've just mentioned. I get it. They want you to sit through the break and at least listen to the commercial, but I don't know.
Oh, but like I've said before, this is a good time to be a wrestling fan. You got lots of indies going again. You got, even if you don't like anything besides WWE, you still got AEW. If I've started watching NWA on the CW app. I guess if you can find Impact, you got Impact, which is deep down and Time Warner or God, I'm sounding like a boomer.
We need
cable Spectrum.
Corey Etzel, he watches all that stuff. If you need to know where you can see TNA, you just send Corey Etzel a message. I
need to do that then. I'll need to send him a message. But it's just a good time again. There for a while, if you didn't like WWE, you were screwed. You didn't have anything to watch. You could scrounge for content on the internet, but you were just shit out of luck, really. And whether or not you watch the things and enjoy it, you don't have to, in my opinion, you don't have to crap on it every time. But I think the more wrestling that's out there, the better the products become.
Absolutely. Yeah. I give AEW shit, but I want to say truly, I tried for over a year to watch it. It ain't my cup of tea, man. They don't tell good stories. They just have matches. And Stephen Hayes, you said something about AEW last week that it didn't register with me until I watched the replay of the show when we were talking about what a big crowd they drew for Greensboro. You said, no. AEW didn't draw that crowd. Sting drew that crowd. And I really believe that. Those tickets are still selling. And after I go through our next sponsor read, I will head on over to Twitter and we'll look at WrestleTix and look at some of these outstanding attendance numbers that are being made right now. It's incredible. Rick Diesel, you've been
sorry. It's Kevin Phoenix's.
I saw that. Yeah,
it just popped up.
It's like,
oh my God.
That looks like a cereal
box.
Will
be like back right after these messages.
We could be that could be a Wheaties box real easy, right?
It could.
Yeah. So Rick Diesel, you were kind of quiet during that segment.
I was just listening, y'all. You guys, you know me. I spend all my time on AIWF Network now.
Yeah.
I don't get to watch the things too, so I just kind of keep my mouth shut and let you guys go. And if I can chime in, I will.
Yeah.
You're more knowledgeable about that product than I am anymore. Because
I mean,
it takes a lot. Believe it or not, Kevin Phoenix can tell you this. It takes a lot of work to keep something posted on the network every day.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and in public. Can I have another Martinsville TV show quick as you can send it to me? Martinsville TV show 2, maybe. You sent me. I'm
trying to think. Well, I've sent you 3 things.
Yeah, you sent me the clips, the little short clips of this show.
Yeah,
and the first one, the Billy Jack Haynes thing, got like 50 hits within the first 2 hours. It was incredible, and then it dropped off. But those little short clips do help. So I'm gonna be prepared. This show's coming to you after we're done tonight.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you meant hand you a Martinsville television show to start of your own. I was like,
huh? Sure, no problem.
Sure, no problem.
I want a file from the old 90s TV show. No, to add to the. But I added I got a new episode of Cyberzone coming out. We're way behind the network on Ringside Wrestling, but we're like. The network is the network, right? They're like CBS, and the Ringside Wrestling, we're kind of like TBS. We get the reruns and the second run movies, but you get the first run of this show and the AIWF fan cam. So the idea is to have a lot of the stuff on both is going to be on both channels, but we want to keep some stuff exclusive to each one to get you to subscribe to both, right? We want you. We want to just take all.
That's how we get you.
That old bait and switch. You think we're car salesman?
Oh, wow. Okay. Speaking of sales, let's sell some lawn care. Ooh, that did not go well. That was not a good transition.
They actually got started back up doing a job this week.
All right. So branch management is back up and running for the spring season. Spring will be here before you know it. I mean, it's already February the 18th. I mean, just about a month away from spring. Pressure washing, general contracting, and gutter cleaning. Free estimates. Call them. They service the Mount Airy, Surry County area. 336. Let me try that again. What a six. All of a sudden, I got an accent. 336-648-2487. 336-648-2487. Probably just need to quit while I'm ahead here. I normally give the number 3 times, but I'm going to try to give it at least once correctly. 336-648-2487 for branch management. All your lawn care needs, general contracting, give them a call. They can probably beat the brakes off of anybody else's prices in town, and they do free estimates. So I'll come out and look at it for nothing. So check them out. If you need work done around the house, branch management, they're your people. And of course, the official concessionaire of the AIWF Mid Atlantic Teas Treats. I understand they're getting back on.
I got some news about that. Somebody check, see if Justin Flash is still watching.
All right. I can't because I'm tied up with the slideshow, so I might have to call and ask somebody else.
And I don't know how to look to see who's watching. So Justin Flash, if you're watching, give us a thumbs up.
There you go.
In case he is, I just wanted to say that, remember I was telling you about the corn dogs coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Corn dogs are back, and we found some hot dogs. I swear to God, they're on Viagra.
Oh my!
They are huge.
All
I
right.
like huge hot dogs.
Yeah, but the hot dogs you had were good. So I mean,
these are massive, boy.
The bigger, the better.
Yeah, it's big old corn dogs now, buddy.
oh,
I mean, and they've been selling like crazy too. They're all beef, huge, big old hot dogs.
Size matters,
that we
damn it.
hand dip, and they, like I said, people have found out about them, and they're our new hot item right now.
all right, the giant corn dogs. Check them out. Yeah.
Now she needs to start rolling them in hot chips. That's the big thing too. To roll them in hot chips.
She's talking about taking them. Sometimes she'll take them and like slice them down the middle and put toppings on them.
Oh God!
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, the girl can cook. That's for sure. Tease Treats, locally owned food truck based in Mount Airy. Great pizza, delicious dogs, decadent desserts, great chicken tenders, mini donuts. Man, whatever you need them for. Call 336-755-8204. 336-755-8204. I myself got an urgent message from the proprietor of Tease Treats a couple of weeks ago on Facebook Messenger that said, "I need to talk to you!" ! To which I replied with my phone number and never heard anything else. So I guess it wasn't that important.
I don't know what it was.
I have no
idea.
idea.
I do know that we actually sat around today and discussed a couple of new items we might be bringing in this spring.
Oh, I'm always excited to hear about that. Tease Treats, official concessionaire of the AIWF Mid Atlantic. Check them out when you come, man. They, their line is long. There's been many an intermission extended because we wanted to make sure the fans got their food and got back in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
it also gives me a nice break. So keep it long. Keep it long. Make her some money and give me a chance to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Let's see here if I can find WrestleTix on Twitter real quick. Why does it always bring that up? X. Let's see. Give me a second. Oh yeah, they come up quick. All right,
That's
here.
what she said.
I'm almost 50 years old. Damn it, I can't help it. Let's see here. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's just go scroll through some of this stuff right here. All right, so AEW Dynamite Rampage, Wednesday, February 21st, 6:30 p.m. The BOK Center in Tulsa, old Mid-South town. Yeehaw, Bill Watts. Somebody call him and say, hey.
Don't come off the top rope. That's what he said when I called him.
Yeah. He'll stick to that. Well, Bill said that still today that was done to generate heat. And so
they ruined WCW for many a year, so I think he's a goddamn liar about that.
Well, the money he made
tell us how you really feel, Reagan.
Yeah, the money the money he made with Mid-South would probably, I would beg to differ. But anyway, let's see.
I'm not talking about Mid-South. I'm talking about his WCW days.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's the one who made the rule in WCW that you couldn't come off top rope.
Yeah,
that's proved Matt Carter's point.
Ruined WCW for those years.
you proved Matt Carter's point. It was meant to generate heat. It's still generating heat to this day.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not because I don't think it's because it was planned to be heat. It was terrible those years.
But Bill Watts did a lot of things to get himself out of there too. But anyway, let's see here. Current setup 2,978, 435 available tickets. Tickets distributed 2,543, up 117 since the last update 2 days ago. You can see the map right there. I don't see any resales on there, but those are the available seats.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is it? I don't know anything about this venue, so I'm assuming it's a coliseum.
Yeah, it
and
is.
not an armory.
Yeah, I'd say it's a safe bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with the size, it's not an armory.
Field house.
So why is there only? Scroll back up, Matt, just for a second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there only 3,000 seats?
There's not 3,000 seats. This place looks like it'll seat about 15, 20,000.
That's my question. Why did they only set it up for 3,000 seats?
Because they knew
don't
they
get me wrong. I know that that's all they could sell, but why are they still going into these 10,000 seat arenas and expecting 3,000 people to show up? Why not downscale?
Ego.
Yeah, the ego, and they've been booked months in advance, but they supposedly just hired a new guy to handle these live events for them. And if it was me, man, I'd start heading to the high school and college gyms. At least if you got 2,500 in there, they'd be into it and they'd be loud.
Or you could have them like, you know how like in Winston where they had the Crockett Cup, like you have that smaller
annex
area. Yeah, the annex.
Annex.
Like,
that would be 3,000 or 4,000 people.
And that would be. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean,
Bill Watts run it.
But like
WCW, that's why I went and seen it.
I mean, that's a valid point. Like, why? It's like you accept what you are and excel at what you are.
Right.
Like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah, but
stop
Stephen
giving people
Ego.
ammunition to shoot shit at you.
Yeah.
I saw, speaking of shooting shit at him, Matt, did you see the thing about the, I don't know what it was celebrating, but it said, thank you, Tony Khan on the screens, and all the wrestlers came out and stood on the stage.
Yes.
And everybody's talking about like when I don't know what milestone it was. Was it the number of shows?
I think so.
And then people were just making the comment, like when you see that, like if it's a WWE milestone, they'll be like, thank you, the WWE fans. But Tony Khan said, thank you, Tony Khan. And I'm just like,
ain't nobody gonna put you over like you.
It's like Chris Nelson all over again, but with a lot of money and bigger budget. I mean, it's like the Bodyguard, Jim Bolin up there. I don't know. So it's just frustrating to me because I think whether or not he has storylines or not, I enjoy most of that product when I can remember to watch it. And I'm going to say, I don't watch as much as I should. I watch a lot of clips online. I do watch a lot of clips online.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy their product. And like I said, they should just accept what they can do, use what they can do, and be who they are. They are not going to be WWE. It's just not going to happen. I don't even know that they're going to be WCW, but maybe they're WCW in 90 and 91. You know what I'm saying? Like the smaller, arenas and stuff. And like, like I saw WCW in, I guess it was Ovens Auditorium. What is it called now?
Bojangles Coliseum, and next door is Ovens Auditorium.
Yeah, so a smaller place, and just work that, build that up, and once you build that up and be like, oh, we're running out of tickets, then go to the next level. But they had to jump right into the deep end before they could swim.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were drawing bigger crowds at first. I mean, this has really happened. The crowds have really started to drop off in the last year and a half. Here's the most impressive one that I've seen this week. And I follow this WrestleTix. I sent them pictures for the Charlotte show. I think this is fascinating when you're just studying the business of wrestling. This is a house show that's set to take place at 7 p.m. tonight out in Fresno, California, which is in about 2.5 hours. Available tickets, 1,371. Current setup, 10,592. Tickets distributed, 9,221. I bet you that's going to be when he posts the final numbers tomorrow. It's going to be close if they can hit 10,000, but for a house show, but look who's on it.
I think they'll break it because that's available. That's tickets available. Now that's not including walk up, right?
Yeah, no, that's just distributed.
They may have 2,000 or 3,000 walk up.
Well, and all those seats that aren't sold are nosebleed, right?
Yeah, they're up at the upper level.
Yeah, that's the $10 seats.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still some singles down here at ringside and one right here and a couple over here. So
I don't know what building is that just from the way the picture looks, it doesn't look like a gigantic Like,
No,
so
it's
you would probably
you
have
you ever
decent
been in the
seats.
Roanoke Civic Center?
Yeah, I was
I
about to say it
have.
looks about Roanoke.
I
Yeah.
have. I saw a WCW house show there.
Yep. So, and then let's see. Okay, now this one's a little bit harder because of the color coding. AEW Collision, Saturday, February 24th, 2024, Great Southern Bank Arena, Springfield, Missouri. This has a color coding layout like the Fayetteville Coliseum. It's like, I guess it's their ticket distributor.
Mhm.
813 available tickets, current setup 2,601. Tickets distributed 1,788. And so
Do these ever say how many seats are actually in the venue? Like, I'm just curious, like, is there, okay, so you there, it says that there are going to be around 4,000 yeah,
it's
like 4,000-ish tickets. Like, I would just be curious. And I know that some of it's going to be taken up with stage and camera, but I would like to know the total number of seats just to kind of get in my head, like the size of the place. Does that make sense? Because you would have to know the other buildings around to be able to tell the size of the place.
well, you can,
Yeah, like did they actually sell out every seat in the building, or did they just sell out the tickets they made available?
they just sold out the tickets that they made available. Like the Greensboro Coliseum, when set up for basketball, will seat like 22,000 people, according to their
Okay.
website. But they're never going to seat that many for wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
But but it gives me an idea in my head, like the size, like the whole size of the venue. So then you can think, oh, so this is a smaller venue. So no seat is going to be a crappy seat.
Yeah, it's really the reason they don't do that on here is because it's pointless. Because, all right, so say that we're WWE, right? And we come to the Roanoke Civic Center and we configure like, okay, let's configure it for 3,000. And we sell 2,900 tickets, and then you include the employees and all that kind of stuff. That's a sellout, right? If you don't sell any more, because that's what you wanted the building configured for. So that's why you can say it's a sellout, even if the place will seat 20,000 people. If you only had it configured for 3, you can tell people it was a sellout, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Some
I guess
stuff we
just
see
in
on
my,
indies.
oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say you see stuff on the indies all the time where somebody's talking about, it's a sellout, and then they show a picture of a garage that seats 75 people.
Yeah.
Hey, Reagan, to answer your question, when set up for basketball and everything, it seats over 11,000.
Okay. Thank you. It's just
Not a
in
problem.
my brain works a little differently because I had a lot of hits to the head.
Were you
But
talking about that building right there?
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what size is it comparable to.
I got you.
It'd be
Wrestle.
Roanoke. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just curious the size of the building because what I'm thinking is like, for people who are buying tickets, just like there's not a bad seat in the house kind of a idea that I was thinking,
Mhm.
Okay, so take a look at this now. This is I find interesting too. This is last night in Oakland, California. So dodging bullets to get in and out of the building. So final count, road to WrestleMania, Saturday, February 17th, 7th, Oakland Arena, Oakland, California. Look at that. Looks just a happy bunch. Last visit, September 18th, 2022, Sunday Stunner, 3,106. Last night, 7,578, a 144% increase. Something's happening in wrestling, y'all. And
that shows it can be done.
Yes.
Because in 2022, they were drawing AEW numbers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So AEW just got to figure out what they've got to do to get people in the door. And I feel like what they're going to have to, we both know it ain't gonna happen. We all know it ain't gonna happen, but they got to get Tony Khan out of the booking committee.
Yes,
he's not Vince McMahon. He don't know enough about wrestling. He's trying to do it as a fan. He don't know what he thinks he knows what the fans want, but he don't. He's got to get some people in that knows how to tell these stories, and he's got to let them work.
The best thing that AEW does, and the only building that I really appreciate watching them in is Daly's Place, because it is a small enough venue and a home base for them that it's almost like the ECW arena. at least always is going to be full for them.
Yeah.
Or they could run a small building out in Reseda, California, and change the name of the promotion to PWG, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, let's give AEW their flowers. I hate that expression. But I just said it. For Sting's last match. This is the latest update. I didn't see when he updated. Let's see when he put the post up. If there's a timestamp, 21 hours ago. So yesterday. AEW Revolution, Sunday, March 3rd. Oh man, that's the day of our anniversary show. So sorry, Tony, we hurt the crowd. 220 available tickets. Current setup 16,130. Total tickets distributed, and this is amazing. This is like Cornette said, this is going to be the biggest AEW attended show domestically this year, and I believe it. 15,910. Up 219 since the last update 2 days ago. Days until show 15. Take a look at these notes. Map changes. Front rows in sections 209 through 212 are added. The new floor seats on the map also include resale. So those are figured into the estimate now. Section 237 noted below in light pink, and we'll zoom in on the map so you can see it in just a second. Looks to have been removed for the time being with only the front two front rows sold. If those end up with a ton of resale in them, I'll add them back in. Last visit for Collision, 8/12/2023. CM Punk was on that card, 5,420. Max capacity of map, not venue, 20,281. Lot of. This is in the balcony, but it's the front row. So yeah, and all these red is resale. Thoughts? Everybody quiet?
Yeah. Well, I'm just listening to you tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I just think it's impressive. I mean, this is proof to what you said, Stephen Hayes, if you ask me, that Sting is selling these tickets, not AEW, because everything else is 2,000, 3,000, except for Wembley. Wembley's selling good, but and I don't even know if I can find Wembley on here, but all the wrestling fans, if you're watching all this, you see in red, these are resales. So they're going to be higher because people are trying to, they bought the tickets and are trying to scalp them. For basketball, these seats on the front row in the balcony aren't bad. I don't know how they'd be for wrestling, but you certainly don't want to be up here.
No.
And Jinky told me not to tell too much about how my ticket. Retard. Just look at the stuff trending over here. Dale Jr., Arn Anderson, MAGA morons, William Henry Harrison. What the fuck, Twitter? Which one of these? It's just 4 random things, but
tells me all I need to know about your search history on Twitter, Matt.
I don't know how William Henry Harrison got on there, but I don't want to talk politics on this show, but yeah, MAGA morons is part of it. So, I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Yep. But I don't know why Arn Anderson's trending, and I'm kind of worried about that. So let me click on that real quick. That one bothered me. Oh no, it's just Brian Heenan. No, it's just some cool clips when he beat Hulk Hogan that time on Nitro when they threw powder in his face. So yeah, Arn had some health issues not too long ago, and so anytime our older wrestlers start trending, it kind of worries me sometimes. But anyway, so yeah,
it's either a heart attack or they killed their wife.
Billy Jack Haynes told the police that was a mercy killing because her Alzheimer's was so bad.
I was wondering that when I heard about it, but then it said the standoff made me wonder. Like
that's coming from a batshit crazy. Yeah, what?
Yeah. So we're talking about Billy Jack Haynes, arrested last week for murdering his wife. They had a big standoff and all that kind of stuff just to bring people back up to speed out there in the outside of Portland. The standoff kind of throws a monkey wrench in there. Oregon's a pretty liberal state. Do you think that if he goes in with the mercy killing defense, and they can prove that her dementia was so bad that he might, maybe not walk, but take a lesser charge?
They might do it to manslaughter.
Hey, yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, that's possible.
his better defense is to let him sit through his RF shoot and go with a insanity plea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, Billy Jack Haynes actually killed a guy when he was younger in a bar fight.
They might bring that up.
Yeah, I think they'll bring it up. But he walked on that one because you know it was a drunken brawl. But and I don't think he meant to hit. I mean, I don't think he did anything excessive that caused the guy to die. Like you know, he didn't smash his head like like an eggplant on the bar or nothing. They were punching each other and he knocked the guy out and he ended up dying from his injuries.
Yeah.
But that was before he got big into wrestling. But Dutch Mantel was saying on his podcast this week that Billy Jack always struck him as being kind of strange, but he was soft-spoken, very polite, but had a short fuse. If somebody ribbed him and got him riled up, he could turn violent on drop of a dime or drop of a hat.
Always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
And soft-spoken and polite are terms that have been used to describe people like Ted Bundy and John Gacy.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna if in 19th century death.
Well, you could also say that Ted Bundy had a great taste in barbecue sauce.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna work
Right.
because Oregon has a death with dignity law. So they in 1997 they enacted the Death with Dignity Act, allowing terminally ill individuals to end their lives through voluntary self-administration of lethal dose of medicine. So
Self-administration being the key of that.
Huh?
Self-administration being the key to that.
Yeah, so that that might hurt him if they've already got a law that
That she could have done it herself.
Yeah, even though she has Alzheimer's. Yeah,
right.
I'm sure there's paperwork that you need to go through to be able to get
well, it's
permission.
Self-administered suicide has been something that's been debated for years. And if you kids are not familiar with the name Dr. Jack Kevorkian, look him up. All of us know him very well. They've done documentaries about him. Al Pacino did a movie called You Don't Know Jack, that I thought was fantastic. I never knew that side of it, that these people that would have come to him, they wouldn't do, they wouldn't grant, assist people with everybody with suicide. There had to be extenuating circumstances where the person was suffering, and all that kind of stuff. And if Oregon's got a law like that, I think that it's great, man, because in that movie, You Don't Know Jack, and I know a lot of it was fictionalized, but I read up on it on the internet, some of those scenarios, and it was pretty historically accurate. Like some of those people, man, were just suffering, but that's different. You're suffering, you have this terminal illness and you can't enjoy your quality of life. You reach out to an actual physician to assist you to make the transition painlessly. You don't go, my wife has Alzheimer's.
I shot her in the face.
She's crazy. She's suffering. Let me make a call for her. Bang. It's a difference. So
I think it's a slippery slope, but if it's true, I understand it. I understand why you would do it. Anybody who's gone through somebody with Alzheimer's, I think can understand why you would do it. But that's a whole political debate that I'm not going to get into on here.
There was I had a cousin in my family that suffered from, he had a stroke and when he got older and then suffered from Alzheimer's, and he would go from this perfectly friendly person, who just one of the kindest people you ever met, to this profanity laden tirade, but berating members of the family, stuff that he'd never done before that stroke. And just like when somebody's brain goes with Alzheimer's, it's fucking terrible, man.
It is terrible.
It's awful. So I don't mean to depress everybody.
I used to work with a home health care company, and one of the things that I did was I went to go in and interview family members when they were setting home health services up for their families and things like that. And I remember I was talking to a woman whose mother was in advanced Alzheimer's at this point. She was not able to walk. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't talk. Her existence was pretty much, she got up in the morning, they dressed her, they put her in a chair, turned the TV on, and she stayed there all day until somebody came and moved her and put her back in bed. And I remember her daughter saying to me, I've been grieving my mother for 5 years and she's still alive.
Yeah.
My grandmother had Alzheimer's. It gave my mother PTSD. So, like I said, this is a very This is too much of a downer. We might need to move on.
I always hope
I
and pray
can't-
that
I
I get
can't say that I've known anybody like that has had that disease or been in that situation. But when I was younger, I always thought it would be interesting to find a prostitute with Tourette's.
I'm or no
course she
no
is.
or no front teeth. Missing two front teeth.
Why you got to bring up the no teeth, Reagan?
I'm not.
Why?
I didn't say present. I was talking about women.
In the first Jackass movie, do you remember that Chris Pontius and Steve-O went to swim with whale sharks?
Yes.
And they stuffed their swimming trunks with fish, and Pontius explains to the audience before they do this stuff, or Steve-O's like, yeah, so the reason they told us it was safe to do this is because whale sharks don't really have like teeth. They have these little tiny nubs that they, it's like, so they're not dangerous like that. And Pontius goes, so with these fish around our crotch, it's kind of going to be like being with a gal with no teeth. Like
my father called that a gummer.
A gummer. I've heard that expression before, but not since I lived in Virginia. So,
well,
amazing what you hear in Martinsville, ain't it?
One thing that is still common that you don't hear, at least I don't hear down here, is people referring to their wives or girlfriends as old ladies.
Tony Cheney used to call me Brian's old lady all the time.
Yeah,
I live close enough to Jeter, so it counts.
So that you get it out there too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, I guess it's an Appalachia thing. I don't know.
It is.
Because you don't hear it down
Also
here.
a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle thing too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of motorcycle people refer to their women as their old ladies.
And that was actually how we referred
Ronnie.
to Jeter's Valley Ronnie.
Yeah, but that's what they told us.
Chain's old lady.
Yeah, that's what they used to tell us to do, man. Call her Chain's old lady. Rowdy Ronnie. Oh, mercy. Well, I mean, we've covered all the topics I had in mind for us tonight. Anybody else got anything they want to add, or we want to get out of here?
I don't know. I said I've been watching the NWA and CW. It's an interesting watch, to say the least.
Yeah, it's keeping. Yeah, we keep watching it.
Yeah.
So
there's
must be something.
That way to kill 30 minutes.
44.
Oh, sorry.
It's if you like
Where'd
ladies.
you- All right, I got a question. You brought up Hulu a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know where everybody else watches their Hulu or their streaming services, but I get mine on Roku. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, does everybody else's, when they do the commercials on their streaming service, do they get the impression that the people making these commercials think that everybody on the planet either has AIDS or erectile dysfunction?
The Hulu is really bad for that.
Notice that?
Every Hulu commercial is the first one is whatever the name of the HIV,
Whatever new HIV medicine it is.
every single one of them, and it's very strange because we watch several shows on Hulu, and I don't get that commercial on Kitchen Nightmares, but I do get that on The League.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't understand, if they think everybody has erectile dysfunction, how they getting AIDS?
Good question.
I mean, the two don't go together, damn it. They do not go together.
I don't know. That might
It's leading people.
Well, and it could be a double whammy. What if somebody that's HIV positive is also not only interested in the medication to treat HIV, but is still interested in the erectile dysfunction medication now? That because there are a lot of irresponsible people out there, and don't tell me
they're
that
walking
happened
around
before.
with
But
they're walking around with an unloaded weapon at that point. Okay.
Well, to move
Hey,
on,
they might have got the HIV while the parts were still working.
yeah, or it
Yeah,
could have
but
been blood transfusion.
Or
from
the
the
HIV,
80s,
yeah,
never
but the HIV won't cause your dick to break though.
No,
I mean, you get because I remember as a little kid reading articles about magazines about people that knew they were HIV positive and they had a grudge against the world, so they try to fuck as many people and
They used to be
infect them as they
bad for
could.
that, especially back in the 80s
Well,
and 90s.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
well, the medicine now makes it undetectable, so it's like living with nothing. Going to
Tell your poor T
going to a
cells
not
that.
so depressing thing. Do you remember last week where I talked about that we didn't know if people were moving from Roku to the Fire Stick. Well, I just saw, I guess because I was talking about that, a story popped up. Roku actually lost a huge amount of money in the last quarter because of that.
Well, they need to make it easier to put programming on there, because that's exactly why we had to move everything to YouTube, which I'm glad we did, because we get more views. But it was cool to be on Roku for a couple of years, but they made it, they just ended their they ended their contract, I guess, with the server that we were using. And so, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But I ain't gonna say that if we couldn't figure it out. Like I was having a meeting with a bunch of promoters at the anniversary show about media future. So who knows? There may be a way we can get back on it.
It would have been nice though if we could have been on the app, because you could not get the show on the app on the phone. So
well, see, that's why I'm thinking maybe that had something to do with why the why the service, with our provider, our host ended. Maybe, there was a issue on one or the other, but it was somebody wasn't happy with it. So I'm thinking it ended up affecting us.
Well,
but almost in a good way.
Yeah, the only reason I ever got the Roku was to have the AIWF network. But then when the streaming services started coming along, I found that it was easier to stream through the Roku device than it was through the PlayStation. And so it served me well. And now we got all these streaming services. It's just as easy. Like if I want to go watch the Andy Griffith Show, Paramount Plus, click, 2 clicks, and there it is.
Are you closing your cabinets, Kevin? Are your cabinets closed? No, they're not. I knew it. I knew it.
So
can T's Creations make me a shirt that says "Close your cabinets, Kevin"?
I'm sure they can.
Pretty sure.
Did you guys hear? And it's just a rumor floating around, but it seems like it's coming from pretty reliable sources. I understand them that Peacock and Paramount Plus are in talks of merging.
I saw that.
I think that's going to be a thing that's going to be happening more in the future. These streaming services, there's going to be so many of them that they're going to start merging into bigger ones, just like Disney and Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, and that happened with Max and Discovery Plus.
Yes.
Discovery Plus move, which, helped, because now I don't have to pay for Discovery Plus to watch 90 Day Fiance. I can watch it on Max. Whatever, Matt, you're almost a 90 Day Fiance person.
I'm a goddamn 10-year person that's been married, so I'm not.
No, but you went through, that was your process, correct? Or did y'all get married in the Philippines?
No, we got married here.
So did y'all do the 90 days? Did y'all have 90 days?
To get married, I think it was some kind of time limit on it. Yeah, it was a time limit. That's
what the show. So you lived it. So let me watch it.
Well, yeah, but we kind of tripped and fell into it more than anything, because what had happened is we did have a limit, but we were already set up to move to Charlotte. And what had happened is we went to buy wedding rings at Wanda's in Stewart. I'll put it over. I don't give a fuck.
Like I did Sam's ice cream.
Yeah. And but Wanda's antique jewelry, because she had bought an old engagement ring that I had bought for somebody else when I was a teenager, and got me out of some financial trouble several years ago. And so I wanted to
God bless her for doing that.
I told her that day, I said, anytime I need jewelry, I'm coming here first. And I have even now, if I see something in the jewelry store that I want, I'll get the damn SKU or ID number off of it and then go up there to see her, because she'll get it a lot cheaper. But so I go up there and we buy we're looking for wedding rings. She's like, how much you got to spend? And I was like, well, as a couple right now, we're really poor. We've only got like $300 to our name. And she goes, I can help you. And she went back and got us a couple of good wedding rings, that were fairly affordable. Still got it. See, it's not even gold, sterling silver. And she said, well, let me ask you something. Have you got the marriage license yet? And I was like, yeah, we do. And she goes, I'll tell you what, I'll knock off 15% of already this great deal she was giving us these wedding rings for if you let me marry you today. And we're like, so I pulled out a cell phone, called Mom. Hey, you need to get Stewart like within the next 30 minutes. Wanda's gonna marry us. And we got married right in front of the statue of Jeb Stewart. in Stewart, Virginia, right
No,
there.
that's funny, right there in the middle of town.
Well, being being a Virginian, right? Like it or not, the Confederacy is a part of our history. So it's hilarious to me that we would get married at the foot of a statue of a Confederate general. I still think that's funny to this day. And just a fun fact, a former AIWF wrestler
Was he watching from his window?
was in the local facility there behind the courthouse.
I was gonna ask you that.
And although he didn't know it, he attended our wedding. So,
You know, that same one attended our wedding with no shirt.
I know, I was there.
Yeah, you were there, aren't you? Came right out of the shirt, putting your shirt on. I don't even know if it got buttoned.
I don't think so.
I think I'm missing the concept of the 90-day fiance. I thought it was just you met some girl and you had to marry her in 90 days.
No,
whether you
well,
liked
okay,
her
so
or not.
the thing, no.
No.
So the thing is, a lot of them, some of them, were in the beginning like people that went to other countries, maybe for missionary work or something like that, and then they meet somebody and they fall in love, and then they bring them to America. And then the show turned into the people going online to international dating sites and meeting somebody online, and then going over, getting them and bringing them back to married. Now it's kind of got to the more trashy thing of people just trying to get to America and stuff like that. But
And just to get on the show.
and just to get on the show.
Yeah, a lot of that. There's a lot of that goes on. I remember Jinky telling me when she was going through the process, she was go to the U.S. Embassy for screenings and stuff like that, and she would be sending me messages. Oh my God, there's a guy here. It's like 92 years old that has a young girl with him. So everything Reagan's saying on that show, it fucking
And I'm gonna tell you,
happens.
that show has a lot of old men who either go to the Philippines or
Mhm.
before the war, the Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah, yep. That's well, Jinky and I because when we first got married, there's a lot of we heard the chit chat, and we knew there was a lot of chit chat of like mail order bride stuff, and we came this close to dressing up as FedEx boxes one year for Halloween.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
She backed out at the
Oh,
last
man.
minute. I was like, man, we should
That is
embrace it.
amazing.
We should imagine it'd be a big, middle finger to anybody who says that about us, because I mean, on the surface, I understood how it looked, but it was a totally different situation. And and everybody, I think, here knows the story, but anyway, it's, but yeah. AIWF wrestler attended our wedding and didn't even know it. And then when I saw him, after that, I told him, and he thought that was hilarious. So,
That's funny. That is
Yeah.
funny. I think we should have a cooking with Kevin segment sometime. What are you cooking, Kevin Phoenix?
looks like he's boiling water.
Eggs?
No, I'm cooking steak and cream corn.
No hot dogs?
Good.
No hot dogs. No steak and cream corn.
Nice.
Big old steak.
People!
Yeah, you must get paid much better than I do.
No, it pays to be fit with Phoenix, you know.
He's got 12 jobs.
Yeah, and plus he's probably got a butcher shop nearby. If he's like me, you can sniff out places to find affordable steaks. You just got to look for them.
Not here where I live.
I hunt and shoot and process my own cows, Matt.
Oh,
Kevin Phoenix is rendering plant.
yeah.
Which goes over really well with the people upstairs in the apartment building.
Hey, Merle
Oh,
Dean. Hey, Merle Dean. I just want to let you know I got to slaughter a cow tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be loud. So
I've lived in
Y'all might wanna
apartments where
go
I think people
out.
are slaughtering cows.
but there's laws in cities that you can't do that, like because people keep chickens and kill them and stuff like that. And yeah. So
I grew up on a farm, so I saw that kind of stuff all the time.
What was your guys' techniques? Did you use an axe or a ring in the neck?
Okay, so let me tell you how I passed AP biology. Real quick story. So I was terrible at AP biology in high school. And so I made a deal with my AP biology teacher that if I recorded my daddy slaughtering a pig, that I would pass that thing. So my daddy's job, what they did when they slaughtered that pig is they put a gun to that pig's head and shot that pig in the head, Terry Funk style, and then started processing it and stuff. And so they did mostly, but like my grandparents, they did cows and then would do it, but then take them to a facility that was in the local area.
Yeah, that's what most cow farmers do. Take them.
But the pig thing saved my my grade in API. And apparently that video is in the archive of NC State's like cultural, like North Carolina history cultural thing, you know.
Hey, well, if you're going to enjoy bacon, you need to know where it comes from. It's not pretty, but you need to see it.
Yeah.
You know,
But you couldn't do that nowadays. Can you imagine if I took that video to my
there's videos
Vito
on YouTube.
would be on you so fast.
Hey, my high school actually had a meat processing class. We didn't have like wood shop like carpentry. And the program is still there. It's the only one in the nation. It's the agricultural program. They raise the cow on a farm, and at the end of the year, when it's ready to slaughter, they bring it in, they kill the cow, they slaughter it, they turn it into like the commercial cut you see at the grocery store, and then they give it to like Second Harvest Food Bank or the local domestic violence shelter and things like that.
Yeah, the place, my shoot job now, I'm in a different place, and one of the field trips sometimes is to go to the processing plant.
Do they actually let them see a slaughter happen?
Let them see a slab on a hook.
Nice. I mean, but do they actually let them see the killing?
No, they don't see that part. They just see the slabs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, think about that. As a kid, that might be a little.
Well, it's just
But you should know where it comes from. We're farming people, so
yeah. They use when they slaughter cows now, they use a steel rod.
They do, and it like
air gun, and it just
Right. Not a 22 to the skull.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that was lovely.
Oh Lord,
we did turn this.
NWA to cow slaughter.
How did we get on to cow slaughter? And I saw my eyes in NWA.
Speaking of killing cows, Diesel, I want to tell you I appreciate you putting up my match with Robbie Stanley on the network. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Hey, you may it's amazing some of the stuff I stumble across. Just keep watching. There's no telling what telling what might pop up.
We got started on how to slaughter animals because Kevin Phoenix said he processed his own cows.
So it's Kevin's fault.
Yeah, but
always Kevin's fault.
His energy drink is in the foreground, y'all, as he's serving up the corn and looks like he's going to put the steak on the plate pretty quick here. And
get yours at the anniversary show in 13 days.
I'm happy to see that he's using a real plate. That is impressive for a bachelor.
You can't put cream corn.
You can't put cream corn on a paper plate. That just does not work. Not even on Chinette. I mean, no, it just don't work.
You better have the wicker plate holder if you are.
Yeah,
I don't eat cream corn at my age.
I don't like cream corn at all. My parents
all forms of corn. All
forms of corn. No, you're not discriminatory against corn.
It all goes in and it all comes out looking the same. So.
No, it all goes in and it all comes out looking like cream corn.
Yeah.
No, it does not. It can still be whole sometimes.
I only use cream corn in my corn pudding recipe.
Corn pudding?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just tell you real quick. It's a
Please notice there was no G on the end of that.
It's a can of cream corn. It's a can of corn. It's Jiffy muffin mix, a thing of sour cream, and a whole thing of butter. And then you mix it all together and put it in the oven.
Settle down there, Paula Dean.
It is actually Paula Dean's recipe.
Well, the whole
Kevin can't use it then.
The whole stick of butter.
Well, I say a prayer every time I do it for the Lord to forgive me, and then I shove it in my mouth.
You damn sure can't fix that in February.
Speaking of butter, I'm still mad that Land O'Lakes fired Sacagawea. I don't think that was fair.
We've been eating Amish butter.
The Indian kept the land.
Going on to a different. We've been using Amish butter from a place in Cana that we get, so it's real good. You won't ever go back to regular butter if you eat that Amish butter.
Well, they sell it at the butcher shop up the street now, and I've never been in there when I needed
a slab of meat.
I know. I hope you use
Jesus.
I hope you use Montreal.
That would kill my insides.
Seasoning on that.
What did you season it with? You better season it with something.
With some Laurie seasoning, garlic, Italian seasoning, some Cayenne
Cabinet.
pepper. That's the
Where's
secret.
that cabinet?
Cayenne red pepper. That's
Ooh.
the secret.
I think cooking with Kevin might be our next big
I'm
thing.
telling you, man.
we
Cooking with
could do-
Kevin.
Get fit with Phoenix and show
Yeah,
you how
get
show how
fit
people
after
how to
working
eat
out
right.
meal.
Always looking for network shows.
Yep. Kevin, I would just recommend as far as seasoning steaks, maybe you try it sometime. McCormick's Montreal steak seasoning. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but I'd give it
I've seen McCormick's, but not that specific one.
try that one. Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Is your
Okay.
cream corn homemade or is it from the can?
It's canned.
Did
No.
you cream it yourself?
I could. That is one of the things about Fit with Phoenix. We cream everything. So
Oh my God.
Matt, maybe we do need to go.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is what we should do. Kevin should cook and we should talk about him while he cooks.
Yeah, that's a great
like-
show.
It's like
It's that
MSP
to the
3000, but with watching Kevin cooking.
Hell's Kitchen with Kevin Phoenix.
Yeah.
who is that?
That's Jade.
Jade.
Who's Jade?
That's Stephen
Did
Hayes.
you really just ask who
I'll say
I
it's
was?
Stephen Hayes' old lady.
Yeah, it's that
Oh.
old lady.
I apologize. I didn't know.
She's very
Did
mysterious.
you know me?
Oh Lord, that sounded like never mind.
Yeah, Reagan's. It's enough.
Yep. All right. We're gonna get out of here, everybody. We'll see you next week,
Cream corn.
wrestling fans. Yeah, and Kevin Phoenix is gonna enjoy that T-bone and that cream corn. Yeah, it looks good. It does look good. I'm actually
looks
getting kinda
real
It
good.
hungry.
does look really good.
And I had a
Thank
steak.
you.
I had a steak yesterday, man. But anyway, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. Remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell on YouTube.
Oh, and keep me in your thoughts. I'm having surgery Friday, so all my fans out there, keep me in your thoughts.
Okay. What kind of surgery?
I have to have
For that
surgery on my
wrist.
wrist.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So Reagan's gonna have surgery on her wrist. Nothing life threatening. So yeah, hopefully get thoughts and prayers, good vibes, send them her way.
Right, because we need her healthy in a week.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. I
Right.
have to. I'm gonna be the one arm bandit that weekend.
Here, I'll give you a good old time prayer. And Lord, please guide the surgeon's hands to make sure that that everything's completed correctly and as painlessly as possible. There you go.
There we
That's
go.
That's how you do
She
that.
got
You
a
have to
lot of
burn the
matches
candle
to
for me.
produce.
Yes, you got a lot of matches to produce. So got a joke, but it's not the appropriate time.
Oh,
Anyway, let's get out of here. We'll see you next week, fans. For Brian and Reagan Danzig, for Stephen Hayes and Jade, for Rick Diesel. I am Mad Matt Carter. We'll see. Oh, and Kevin Phoenix.
And his T-bone.
And his T-bone.
his bone.
That's all for this week, wrestling fans. Until next time, so long for now.